Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where I will be teaching you how to crochet these baby shower patterns. This is a pattern of a little boy's overall and this is a pattern of a little girl's dress. This is the second pattern of my baby shower series and I'm excited, so let's get to it. The materials you need, I'll put those up there, are going to be some blue yarn. I got some darker blue yarn, some red yarn, a needle which I've already threaded so we can make the video a little timely, some white yarn, and then I also have some pink. So let's get started. We are going to work on the little boy overalls first. Okay, you are going to need a size H 5.0 crochet hook. So let's grab our blue yarn. Okay, and you can use any yarn for this. What I recommend is just watching the whole video first. You can use some scrap yarn to practice on. That's sometimes what I generally do, and then I take notes. So the first thing you want to do is get a slip knot, and we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See where I'm at on the video, and then I'm gonna pinch it here and chain 2. This is going to be count as your first double crochet, and I like to single crochet in that first chain, and then we want to come back here and we want to chain, should give us 8, 2. We're going to double crochet back to the first chain, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then right back there in that little tight first one, 8. And this is row 1. The chain row does not count. Okay, we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and then go back into that second chain, that first chain, and single crochet, and then in this same stitch we are going to double crochet for an increase. We're going to increase on the ends and then double crochet across. Let's see, 5th row is an increase on the ends, double crochet across. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this second row should leave us with 8 double crochets. Again, we're at the end, so we're going to put 2 double crochets for our increase. Okay, now we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and then single crochet in that first chain. Might want to twist it a little bit. And go back in this same stitch and make another double crochet because we are at an end and we are going to make increases on our ends. So that's 2 double crochets, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, 8, 9, 10, and then we're at an end. So in our last stitch, right there at the top of that single crochet, we're gonna make 2 double crochets for an increase. Okay, so we're going to do this for 4 rows. So we've done 3, and this is going to be our last increase row, and then we'll start to decrease. So we're going to chain 2, turn our work, single crochet in that first chain, in that same stitch we're going to double crochet, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and on the top of that single crochet we're going to make 2 double crochets because it's our end and it's an increase. So that's it. Double crochet, 2, 7, double crochet, chain 2, turn your work. Okay, so we are going to double crochet to the 7th. Okay, so we're going to chain 2, turn our work. You know what? I think we're still decreasing 1 or increasing 2 in that first stitch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like I forgot to write some of that stuff down. Okay, now we have 7, so we're going to chain 2 and turn. This is where the legs start to separate. Okay, and then we're just going to do 1 increase. Do any work? Nope. So we're going to do 1, and in that next stitch 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet in that third stitch. In the 4th, another double crochet, 5th, another double crochet, and then 6, 7 in that last stitch. So for the pant legs, we're only going to increase on the ends and not in the inner leg part. So we're going to chain 2, and this is our last row. We are going to single crochet in that second chain, and then we are going to, in that same stitch, make another double crochet. So that's 2, next stitch is 3, next stitch is 4, next stitch is 5, next stitch is 6, and then next stitch is 7, and that's the inside of the leg. So we are not going to make an increase there. So we're going to fasten off, and if I didn't mention that, you're going to need some scissors, I would think. Okay, so we have 1 leg done. Now we're going to attach our yarn with a slip knot and finish the other leg and do the exact same thing. We're just going to mirror that. 6. So we're going to skip 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe. Let's go. Oh. Let me see. I did skip a stitch. So we're going to skip this stitch, and then the next stitch, skip the next stitch from your leg that you veered off on, and then just attach with a double crochet. And I want to show you something, because this is, I call it my little airborne double crochet, but we have the slip knot here. And if you can take these 2 fingers and hang on to, or these 2 fingers and hang on to the tail, and then yarn over, and with your index finger hang on to your hook, insert it in your stitch, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and then I always grab it with the middle finger and the ring the thumb of the other hand, and then pull it through, and then you just have a double crochet and you don't have a chain 3. I just think it looks so much neater. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, sorry, 5, 6, 7. Okay, remember this row had 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. Turn around and single, well, you can either, sometimes I don't even turn it around. I'll just do the single crochet right there at the back loop of that first chain. This yarn is kind of Karen yarn can be kind of difficult sometimes. So then you turn, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do another double crochet in that same stitch. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, my yarn is pulling here. And then we have 7. Oops, I didn't yarn over in our last stitch. Okay, so you want to chain 1, fasten off. Hold on a minute. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. Oh, let's back that up. This is our last row. So we do 1. It's only 1 double crochet on the end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Into that top of that double crochet, and then we won't have that gap. Oh no, it's not the last row. We have to do another row. Chain 2, turn our work, single crochet, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 across. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the chain 1, we're going to fasten off, and then we're going to go right into the overalls, which are super easy as well. So get our slip knot again. This works up really quick. And what I did is I just took the corner, that top stitch in the corner, you want to slip stitch into that top. Make sure you're going over both. Make sure you grab 2 loops. The yarn is not cooperating. And now this is a chain, so you'll have to be sure that you're going through 2 so that it doesn't have a big gap in there. We're just going to slip stitch. We're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to turn it around, and in that same stitch right here, we're going to slip stitch. And that's going to be one of our overalls. Straps. Okay? We're going to clean it up. It looks kind of, well, the ends make it look all over the place, but it's really not. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other end. Okay? Take that last stitch. Where did I? Oh no, I left 1 whole stitch and then went in. So if you look on this side, there's a stitch there, and I went into the next stitch. Whoops, did you see that? This I left that stitch there and went into that one. So on this side, we're leaving this stitch and going into this stitch, but we're just going to slip stitch into it. Make sure I got both of those loops, and I do. We're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. turn our work, and in that same stitch we're just going to slip stitch, but we're going to slip stitch from the back. Okay, all right, and there are our little overall straps. Now, if I didn't mention, I always have a little smaller hook on standby for my ends, and all I do is just work them like to a little bit further. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, and just work them down. It's going to be a one-sided project, so get them all there at the same time. Get these, and of course you can do a border all around this if you want to. That is totally up to you. I'm not going to do that in this video. And also, if you don't like how bulky it is and how big it is, you can definitely use a smaller hook and maybe even some thinner yarn if you want them like mini, more mini, because they're kind of mini now. So basically all I did was just make a knot with my little small hook. That one doesn't have a knot, and I don't want it sticking out and looking crappy, so I'm just going to, with my smaller, sometimes it gets snug in there. If you wiggle your hook a little bit, it's a little tip, you can get it through there. Okay, so from here I'm just going to tie them off. Sorry about that. Super easy, super fast. And as I said in my previous video, you know, you can make whatever you want with these. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So all I did was, for these little red buttons, is did a French knot. And if you follow me, you know that I am a very big fan of French knot. So basically, if you need to pause the video and get your yarn, you can do that. And when you come back, we just need you to go in the same hole that you initially, you see right here, put that you initially made your overall strap in, but try to grab a little bit of like a couple strands of yarn, so your French knot is gonna be sturdy. And then pull your yarn through. You probably need about 10 inches, 10 or 12, and in that same area, okay, I'm gonna pull up a little bit of yarn, and then just insert my needle just a little bit, maybe halfway. I'm going to pinch it with my thumb and my index finger, and I'm going to yarn over 3 times on your sewing needle, and then push it through, but pinch, and do this real slowly because you don't want it to bunch up. You might have to wiggle it a little bit, but do it kind of slow, and then you have this little lifted effect, and then go back through the front and out the back, and that is your button. Isn't that cute? Super simple, super fast. I use these French knots for eyes. I use them for pretty much anything. I use them for morsels in my chocolate chip, Cookie Monster chocolate chip video. Just I would just yarn over a couple times just to randomly make them different. So now I'm in a different size, I mean. So now I'm going to the other one. Again, we're working through that same stitch that we put the strap in. Initially go through all the way through, and then you go back in, and then you pull up somewhere near it. Want to yarn over 3 times with your working yarn, pinch it with your thumb and index finger, and then with your thumb, your other thumb, push your needle out slowly. Okay, oopsie. And if it bunches out, just pull it out from the bottom. back in to finish, and then there you have it. Super simple. And then in the back you can just tie a knot. Okay, I'm going to cut this off, and there you have your little boy overalls. And you can play that that one game that I talked about. Like I said, you can put about, you can even do red down here if you want. You know, it's totally up to you. And I think I did use a smaller hook with these. I had to have. I think I used a 4.0. But this is what they look like with the 5 and the Karen yarn. This is Karen yarn, and that is kind of thicker. So yeah, that's your little boy overalls. So moving on, grab your white yarn and your pink yarn. And I have a little bit of purple yarn for the bow. That's totally optional. And we are going to start with our white. Let's move this out the way. And we're going to chain 9. And this also works up very fast. So go ahead and get your slip knot however you do it. And then we are going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, single crochet back for a total of 8 in each of the chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's gonna curl on you, or at least this yarn does. Okay, chain 2, turn your work, and again these are all going to be, this is going to be a decrease. Single crochet in that the first chain, and then in each stitch we're going to increase for 16. So we have 8 single crochets, and now we're going to make 2 double crochets in each of those. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 in the next stitch, 5, 6 in the next stitch, 7, 8 in the next stitch, 9, 10 in the next stitch, and you will see that it will naturally just start curling up. 11, 12 in the next stitch, 13, 14 in the next stitch, and then 15, 16 in that last stitch, which is going to be the top of your single crochet. 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to just chain 1 and fasten off. See how quick that top part was? Wow. Okay, and now we just have the top of our dress. Yeah, I'm going to stop right here, and just because these strands are going to drive me crazy. And if you end up with like a little hole right here, there was a little trick that I showed in the next video. I don't think I explained it very well, but if you go into the space underneath it and then bring up your hoop, your hook, yarn over and pull your strand in there, it will, see how it covers it up? You know, that's when you're working in your tails and stuff. And again, this is just a one-sided project. I just do a nice little, try not to do them too tight, knots, nice little knots, not too tight, that's not. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. See how I left a little gap there? I'm just going to pull it through. And then I'm just going to go over here to the next neighboring stitch. The more you crochet, you know, you'll get better at like using your yarn to like your advantage. Your strands, they can be your friends, they're not your enemies. You can use them to cover up gaps and stuff. Okay, so now we have the top part of her dress. Let's see, Okay, ruffle row. Increase on ends for 4 rows. Slip stitch ruffle. Okay, but I went in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here's where you might need some stitch markers, or if you don't want to, that's fine too. Whoops, sorry. I forgot to mute my phone. It's my daughter. Okay, so we're going to come in 5 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to mark on the 6. Come in 5 over here. Maybe I counted that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. Okay. So grab your other color, your pink. We're going to go ahead and do that. And begin decreases. Oh, increase on ends, 4 rows. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to go ahead and just do that double crochet. You can do the chain too if you're comfortable with that. That is not a problem. Sorry. Now I'm going to turn my, I didn't expect them to her to call back to back like that. Usually she'll text me. Okay, coming back to business. All right, so in the next stitch we are going to make 2 double crochets in that first. So we're increasing on the ends for a total of 1, 2, 4 rows. So we're just gonna go in, okay, do my little airborne double crochet, and then 1 in the next, 1 in the next, then 2 in the next. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, chain 2. We're going to follow that same format, single crochet in that first chain, and then in that same stitch make another double crochet, 2 double for 2 in the same stitch, 1 double crochet in the next for 3, 1 double crochet in the next for 4, 1 double crochet in the next for 5, 1 double crochet in the next for 6, and then 1 double crochet in the next, no, 2 double crochets, I'm sorry, in the next for 7 and 8. So the decrease is going to be, and we'll take care of that. Do not worry if you get that, like any gaps or something. Chain 2, turn your work. Oops. 1, 2 in the first, because that's an increase and it's an end. 1 in the next for 3. This yarn is a little difficult. 3. 1 in the next for 4. 1 in the next for 5. 1 in the next for 6. 1 in the next for 7. Some yarn. 1 in the next for 8. And then 2 in that last stitch, top of that single crochet, because it's a corner, or it's a last stitch, it's an end, and we're going to double crochet. We're going to double crochet 2. Let me finish my thoughts here. So we're going to chain 2, turn our work, single crochet in that first stitch, and this is our last row. 2 in the first stitch, 1 in the next for 3, 1 double crochet in the next for 4, 1 double crochet in the next for 5, 1 double crochet in the next for 6, 1 double crochet in the next for 7, 1 double crochet in the next for 8, 1 double crochet in the next for 9, 1 double crochet in the next for 10, and 1 double crochet in the next, no, 2 double crochets in that last stitch, because it's an end, and that's our increase. Okay, so for the ruffle, we're going to slip stitch, chain 3, slip stitch. and repeat that. So we're gonna 1, 2, 3, turn it, and in that same stitch we're gonna slip stitch. That's gonna be our ruffle. In the next stitch we're gonna slip stitch, chain 3, slip. I bet you this is that yarn. I can't even think of the name, that I stopped buying because it separated so much. It was on sale. I'm a sucker for sales. So anyway, we're gonna chain 3. No, wait. After you have slip stitched, after you've chained your 3 and slip stitch in that same stitch, you slip to get to the next stitch, and that's what you repeat. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch back in the same stitch, slip stitch in the next. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in that same stitch, slip stitch in the next, and try to slip stitch a little loosely because so you can get it in there. Slip stitch in that same stitch, slip stitch in the next. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the same stitch, slip stitch in the next. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the same stitch, slip stitch in the next. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the same stitch, slip stitch in the next. And it might get a little challenging. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in that same stitch, slip stitch in the next. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the same, slip stitch in the next. You should have two stitches left. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the same, slip stitch in your last stitch. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch again. Well, wait a minute. Where's that other hoop? I'm only grabbing one. Okay, and essentially what they are, they're picots. Picot stitch. But I mean, doing a shell on something this small just didn't look right. And then you have your, how cute is that? Very cute little dress. And you can embellish these any way you want. If you don't want to put like a button, or the way I put a button, if you've got some small embellishments or ribbons and stuff like that, by all means. And I'm just taking my ends right now and then filling in my gaps on the sides by getting them out the way here. That's why. So yeah, I mean, you know, whatever you want. If you have some stuff on there that I have some little tiny little roses, embellished roses. They're so cute, but I have no idea where they're at. I think I kind of do, but I'm not sure. You can't hold me to it. And then I don't know what happened to my little piece of purple, but I will use this and show you how I did this little bow. Super easy. You want to take your smaller hook and then find your 2 middle stitches in your top part, your ruffle. Like this is the top part. Find your 2 middle and then stick your hook in one, grab one side of whatever color you're going to use. I'm just going to use black for the purpose of the video, and then that next one you want to grab the other one too. So you're going to want these kind of big at first. You know, I'm not a big fan of wasting yarn, please believe. Even with my little strands that I cut off, I keep and I stuff my anything I make that needs to be stuffed, my pillows, my little dolls. I have comfort dolls that I want to show you that I have coming up too on my channel. That, you know, comfort dolls, I don't know if you can research this on Google. And then what I'm doing is just making these hoops smaller, but then I'm still like putting them tight, and then just keep doing it until I get the size I want. Then I'm gonna cut them off. But anyway, the comfort dowels that I've made, you know, normally they're knitted or they're loom knitted on a loom. But I figured out how to do them in crochet. And I've made quite a few of them for my grandkids. My kids were like, have you put that on your YouTube video? On your YouTube channel yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't. But I definitely will. Anyway, so there you have it. I'm sorry if I was off camera. There it is. Really cute. Really fast. Really easy. I'm not sure why these came out so big. Well, this dress didn't. But anyway, just a sneak peek on what my next video is going to be like. I'm going to be showing you how to make little baby diapers. Super cute. And this is an example of one of them. And I just got a little bow right there. Isn't that cute? There's the back. And then there's the front. And you can put like little like clothespins on there if you want or something. I thought that was really cute. But that's what's coming up. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video, tag somebody. You know, somebody that needs some baby shower ideas or something, decorations. I appreciate everybody's patience. I'm sorry if I confused anybody. But thanks for watching, and together let's continue to crochet it forward. Bye now.